Hey everybody, Chris Cooper here, and I've been fortunate enough to be invited to phone calls with a lot of the leadership at CrossFit. And so I've had conversations in the last little bit with Nicole Carroll and Dave Castro and Allison Andriosi, who was the interim CEO of CrossFit at the time, and a lot of the people on the affiliate team like Gary Gaines and Daniel Chaffee, great guys. And in every case, they said, what's some advice? What can affiliates do, or how can we support affiliates better? And I truly believe that these are people who are trying to help CrossFit affiliates more. Now, the advice that I shared with them, maybe they use it, maybe they don't, maybe they were just being polite, but I've been asked a lot of times, like, what exactly did you tell them? And I wanted to tell our mentors, here's the advice that I shared with HQ on how they could help affiliates more. And then as I was doing it, I realized, like, actually, this could be done by the affiliate. So I'm just going to tell you. So the first thing was you have to have a good filter so that you can filter good advice from everything else, like bad ideas or bad advice or really good ideas that are untested. And that filter is data. You have to collect numbers. I'll give you an example. Somebody says, hey, Instagram ads are really growing my affiliate for me. You need to be able to say, great, how fast is your affiliate growing? And what kind of ads are you putting out there? And what else have you done instead? How do you compare Instagram ads to TikTok or whatever? And it's not just about marketing, it's also about retention, right? Like, so you might say, hey, we're doing free trials and that seems to be working great. And your question should be compared to what? Did you try free trials and then did you try a no sweat intro? Did you try a no sweat intro with on-ramp, or was it a no sweat intro and then straight to class? Did you try a test out? Did you try a 3 personal training on-ramp? Did you try a 6? This is where data is actually helpful because there are so many ideas out there. And before you listen to anybody, you should look at their data set and say, what are you making this recommendation on? The second thing that I recommended to CrossFit HQ that you can do yourself is you need to get really, really clear about the mission. I think sometimes we kind of lose that thread, or we think that everybody around us just knows why we're doing this. And so we need to say something like, our mission is to expand the lifespan and the health span of 7,000 people in Sault Ste. Marie. That's my mission, right? Very short, very plain. It should have a number in it so that we know when we're getting closer to it. But whatever your mission is, you should state that. And I think when you're leading a big organization, especially, when you're bringing in new layers, or let's face it, you're bringing in new investors and the mission becomes increased shareholder value, that's fine, but it's not going to inspire anybody. And so you have to be able to say something and mean it, like, we are going to meaningfully affect the world's health to a measurable degree by extending the worldwide lifespan by blank, or by extending, the health span or the biological age or whatever you want to measure of so many people. Okay. The goal, the mission of CrossFit can't just be to introduce CrossFit to more people, because that doesn't, it really doesn't fire me up to be part of it, right? You have to inspire people. And in your gym, you have to talk about your mission, why you're doing this, what kind of effect you want to have on your city, the impact that you want to make. The third thing was that you need to be your own media company. Now, in years past, I think the greatest service that CrossFit HQ ever did to its affiliates, was run a really successful media team. And year after year, they would spend millions of dollars telling stories about people doing CrossFit. And they were inspiring stories. And they were stories about people running affiliates and people taking their L1. And more than anything else, people losing weight, kicking medication. These are the stories that actually stick in the population. And, CrossFit used to spend millions and millions of dollars on this. The great news is that you don't need them to do it for you anymore. You have an entire media company right in your pocket. I'm fishing my phone out here, right? You can tell the stories of your clients. You can put them on a pedestal. You can teach everybody in your gym about everybody else in your gym. And you can tell the community, look at the change this person has had. You don't need to take credit. All you have to do is make them famous. And so being your own media company is more important than ever before. The fourth thing is you need to charge appropriately. And in our State of the Industry publication that we put out every December, January, we share data on what the average gyms are making per client, and it's like $90. Well, that's not like a coaching rate. That's an access rate. That's something like you would charge people to come in and use your equipment and not receive coaching. But if you're watching this, you're probably a coach. And so a coaching rate is about $205 and up. Every month we publish leaderboards showing, how much revenue per client the top gyms in the world are making. And some of these gyms are now over $500 per client per month. What does this mean? It means that not only are the gym owners doing well, but that their family is doing well, that they're providing a meaningful platform on which other coaches can expand their influence and build their careers. It means that they have the attention and the serious dedication of their athletes. It doesn't mean that they're greedy. What it means is that people are paying them money instead of paying the medication company's money, okay? And that's what it's all about here. You don't have to go for $500 average revenue per member, but your average should be around 205 or better. It doesn't mean that all your memberships have to be 205. It means that if I take up all the revenue that I make over the month, divide by the number of clients that I have, that number should be 205 or higher. And you can get there with some personal training, some small group, nutrition coaching, whatever that is. But there are definitely people who need more help at your gym than group classes can offer. Next, number 5, you need to get your business out of your head. You need to systemize every single thing that you do and the way that you want it done. You are an affiliate, a licensee of the brand because you don't want to be a franchise. You don't want to follow somebody else's playbook. And so even if I gave you the step-by-step instructions on how I run my gym, it would not be something that you could just copy. I actually do give that as a template in the Two Brain Business Ramp Up course, but I want you to alter it. I want you to tweak it. I want you to write down like where the parking spots are at your gym and where the light switches are and what kind of music you want to play and what your cleaning standards are and what time your classes run and how they're run. All those things are specific to you. But if you don't get them out of your head, they won't work for anybody else in your gym. And so when I'm talking about writing a playbook, what I'm talking about is really building the business that you want to build by writing it all down. If you want to look at the CrossFit affiliate playbook for ideas on things that you can do, that's fine, but it's not the same thing as actually having like a systemized approach to what you're doing and a model to follow. Now, we build models with people. We don't dictate to people, you have to follow this model or that model. And if you click the link below, you can actually see like a short webinar from me on 3 different models that we teach to gym owners, including CrossFit affiliates. And about 52% of the gyms in Two Brain right now are CrossFit affiliates. That's why I'm really passionate about helping them. I've been a CrossFit affiliate for 14 years. I worked with CrossFit for Hope. That CrossFit sign behind me came from a piece of mango wood that we burned in Kenya while we were building schools there. I have a lot of passion for the people in this community. What I'm really cautious about though is saying like, you have to write your own playbook. Here's a template, follow this. Here are some great ideas instead of here's a bunch of brainstorms that haven't been through a data filter. The reason that we use this data filter, or the reason that we have it and nobody else does, actually comes back to an inspiration that I got while visiting CrossFit HQ years ago. I was breakfasting with the COO, Bruce, at the time. I think the CEO, Jeff Kane, was maybe there. There were a lot of people whose names you recognize around the breakfast table. And I said, if you really want to help, just publish some data, collect some data, use a survey, whatever. Any data is better than none at all. And then just share it with all the rest of us. Ask people like exactly how much are you charging? How much are you making? Are you doing okay? And publish that. And the response that I got at breakfast was, great idea, Chris. We're never going to do that. And so this is the same suggestion that I've been making now for 6 years, I think. This is a decade-long conversation, so I'm not exactly sure how long it's been. But the reality is that whether CrossFit HQ adopts these ideas to help affiliates or not, they're all things that you can do. And so you can take charge of all this stuff. You can follow these steps. You can set up your own data filter. You can use ours. You can download the State of the Industry Guide for free. It costs us a ton to produce this. You can just have it. You can get really, really clear about your mission by asking yourself, like, what am I trying to accomplish with this gym? You can be your own media company. That's never been easier than it is right now. You need to charge an appropriate value for your service. and you need to get your business out of your head and systemize things so that your impact will expand and survive without you. I hope this helps. This is the same advice that I gave to everybody that I spoke to at CrossFit HQ. I'm thankful that they were willing to listen. I'm grateful and flattered that they asked me, but you need to hear it too. And if this helps you, it's all stuff that you can do yourself.